Okay, I'm gonna read one while I'm here. It's one of those damn ski helicopters lands in my head. Battery's dying as usual. Alright, this person has a sketch of what they saw. Ready? Steve. Hey Steve, I know how extremely busy you are and won't be upset if you don't respond like these other jackasses. Not sure if you had my time to read my actual encounter, but here it is. Feel free to share if you like and use my name. I included a drawing of the being I saw. Tell me what you think. I'd like to share my experience regarding my personal sighting. I'll try to be as detailed as possible without being boring, so bear with me. The sighting was 15 to 20 feet away, Huntsville, Ontario, near Otter Lake, approximately 2 minutes long, early morning daybreak, and the season was summer. I'm from Michigan. We went to this cabin our family friend zone in Huntsville. Our group consisted of 2 adult women and 4 children. I was 12 at the time. If you Google map the local, you will see that it is surrounded by hundreds of miles of timber and undeveloped land. This cabin sat empty all year round unless occupied briefly by our family friend and or their guests. Approximately 100 feet from the cabin door stood the beautiful lake. The entire area was surrounded by old-growth forest, and there wasn't a neighbor within 10 to 20 miles. Town was roughly 15 miles away, so we were secluded. We arrived late at night, took in our gear, and slept. Upon seeing the light of day, I hurriedly gathered my little tackle box and fishing pole and headed out the door towards the lake. I was excited to fish. Being from the city, I didn't get to fish often. Everyone else in the cabin was still asleep, so I estimate the time around 6 to 6:30 in the morning. As I walked down the path towards the lake with the cabin on my back, I experienced the most powerful sensation of being watched I have had to this day ever felt. The hair on the back of my neck stood up. It was so pervasive, I instinctively turned around and fully expecting to see someone directly behind me. I turned and looked. The path behind me was empty, but my attention was immediately drawn to the large boulder that jutted out of the ground, approximately 6 to 7 feet out of the ground, next to the cabin. That's when I saw it. It was peeking out from the side of the boulder. Now mind you, I've camped up north in the upper peninsula of Michigan all my life. I've seen bears, bobcats, and all kinds of creatures. This was different. I stood there and just stared at what I can only explain as a large dark face with big shiny eyes staring at me. I moved slightly behind the rock, maybe hoping I hadn't seen it. Oh, but I did. It peeked back out and stayed that way for a minute, probably wondering what I was going to do next. I held my ground. I wanted to see what this thing was. The forest line was 20 to 25 feet away on all sides, so it wasn't going to slip away easy. It must have realized that as well, because no sooner did I think that, it just stood straight up. The top of the boulder came to about the top of its stomach, its chest, shoulders, head, and easily cleared it. I estimated it between 8 and 9 feet tall. It was massive. Its head looked small in comparison to its shoulder width. They had to have been about 4 to 5 feet across, heavily muscled yet lean. The hair wasn't very long, maybe 4 to 5 inches all over. Dark brown. The face was human looking. It reminded me of an Aborigine, like an Australian. Hair covered except around the eyes. The skin was medium gray color. It had very pronounced conical shaped head with the hair extending all the way to the brow ridge. Eyes were black and shiny. I could see them move as he looked over me. Mouth, lips wide and thin. And there we were. Neither of us moved for about 20 or 30 seconds, which in wild time is like an hour. I think we were both in shock. Amazingly, I wasn't afraid at all at that moment. I did not feel threatened, nor was its posture aggressive. It did not make any sounds or show its teeth. It just stared. Then it just turned, without taking its eyes off me, and took 3 steps, and it was in the timberline. Its steps were weird and very long. It kind of hop-stepped while swinging its arms. It cleared open grass to that tree line in a split second, but the way it walked and swung its arms, it looked like slow motion. Graceful yet weird. As it went in the forest, it started breaking branches. Trees, it sounded like, as it made its way deeper into the woods. That was the only time I was scared. It sounded like it was tearing the whole forest down in there. Wood was snapping and cracking like gunshots. It was so loud. In retrospect, I think it was doing it so I wouldn't follow it, and I didn't. I ran back up to the cabin, woke up my mom, and told her what I saw. There was no misidentifying that. It was Bigfoot. I'll never forget that encounter and remember it as if it was yesterday. Thanks for reading my sighting. Below is a drawing I did of the creature. Truly looked more human than ape. Wow. Huh. How's that? It's nothing. You don't envy anybody that has something like that happen, right? I mean, what do you say? What do you say besides it's non-stop? It's non-stop. Non-stop. But anyways, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the only way you're going to get this to swing around and get the honest information pumped out to everybody so they can have a fair crack at deciding where they want to go camping or hang out for the weekend with their family, which is what I'm getting at, is I'm thinking we should get a clear list of the names in the scientific community of all of those responsible for blocking and demolishing the DNA studies by credible scientists, and unleash every single one of us on their asses nonstop. Because obviously it's only due to being scared that those scientists jumped on the bandwagon and will not admit this to come out in public. It's because they're scared. So what I'm thinking is, if our community here gets larger and stronger and hammers on them nonstop, then we'll turn it around to the point they're going to be scared to not admit the honest truth to us. What do you think of that one?